Good evening, everybody. I hope all is well. I just wanted to give a quick update on the severe weather situation developing this week. So we definitely have some interesting information to discuss. So we'll definitely take a look at that for sure. So the SPC has downgraded the risk for tornadoes tomorrow. This may need to be upgraded once again, and I'll show you guys why. And more severe weather on Wednesday as well. So definitely stay tuned for updates, guys. Definitely hit that subscribe button and enable notifications. That way you do not miss any weather information in the future. And definitely like and share this video to get it out there in the algorithm. So that way we can give people information and definitely spread this information far and wide. So that way it reaches the ears that it needs to reach. So definitely appreciate it, guys. So let's head on into Radar Omega here for a second here. Just to show you guys. So you can see here, this is for tomorrow. So we can take a look at this. This encompasses, looks like northern Missouri here, western Illinois as well, and even much of Iowa here, and even into extreme portions of southern Minnesota here, and into extreme portions of southwestern Wisconsin here. But let's take a look at what the SPC has to say right now. So this is a general thunderstorm risk, which I do agree with and I don't agree with at the same time. So we'll definitely take a look at this. So severe thunderstorm potential appears low on Monday. So let's take a look at this. A compact mid-upper shortwave trough and developing upper low will lift northeast from the Central Plains to the upper Great Lakes on Monday. A surface low attendant to the shortwave trough will be located over southeast Nebraska early Monday while tracking northeast into Wisconsin by early Tuesday. Strong southwesterly deep layer flow will overspread the lower Missouri and mid-Mississippi valleys into the upper Great Lakes vicinity, while southerly low-level flow facilitates minor boundary layer moistening into Illinois and in Iowa and in the vicinity. Quite a bit of spread exists in the forecast guidance regarding surface temperatures and dew points. So the HRRR is the most aggressive with the low 50s temperatures and dew points as well into central Iowa and northwestern Illinois. The other end of the spectrum is the NAM with temperatures and dew points about 10 to 13 degrees cooler, given that dew points in the 50s are still in the vicinity of the Texas coast as of Sunday morning. It appears unlikely the HRRR solution will be realized, as substantial air mass modification will be needed. As a result, destabilization is expected to be very weak, with little, if any, surface-based instability expected. Furthermore, some areas across the southeastern Minnesota and northern Iowa vicinity will still have quite a bit of snowpack. Additionally, timing of the ejection wave appears ill-timed, with the peak heating with strongest ascent likely during the morning and early afternoon before spreading northeast. Given large model spread, little signal amid machine learning, ensemble guidance, and very low probability of surface-based convection, the marginal risk has been removed. I do think that they probably should put that marginal risk back up, and I'll definitely show you guys why here. So let's start off here, guys. So we're going to be visualizing a triple point type of scenario with this developing low pressure system here. And let me show you guys pivotal weather just to give you guys... to show you guys what's going on here and the reason why I think that this should be added back in here. So we'll definitely take a look at that. Let me take off Radar Omega. We'll put the display capture back on. Hit this real quick. All right. So basically, so there's the triple point here, right in here, guys. So we're definitely taking a look at that. So taking a look at the HRRR model from Pivotal Weather using the dew point data. This is looking at hour 27 here. So this is 21Z. So this is 4 p.m. Central tomorrow. We can definitely see some 50-degree dew points setting up across half of Illinois here. So you guys can definitely see that. And as well as dew point nose stretching into Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, and down through Burlington as well. So that's definitely a nice moisture nose coming in. This arc of moisture within Iowa as well into Illinois is depicting where a new surface low will be developing, as well as where the occluded low will be positioned. So we can definitely see a well-defined boundary here. And oftentimes we have some clearing that may occur to the south of this boundary. So we're definitely going to have to watch that, and this is going to allow for the heating of the day to take hold. So we definitely have to watch out for that. And the cold air pocket aloft is definitely going to aid in the development of instability within this region as well. And then off to the west of this boundary, especially to the west of the triple point, the instability will be generated. So right in here, guys, will be generated from the cold air aloft. This will allow for the generation of non-severe, non-supercell thunderstorms directly to the south of the triple point boundary, so right in here. These storms will propagate to the north, and once they interact with the warm sector, so right in here, basically a cyclonic spin will be generated at the surface, and to the north of this dew point nose, we will have more northeasterly winds, and to the south, we're going to have more southwesterly winds. This is going to generate that cyclonic spin. So any thunderstorm and its accompanying updraft that is able to propagate along this boundary and able to stretch the cyclonic spin at the surface into the vertical will develop a deep mesocyclone with the capability of forming landspout tornadoes. We definitely have a tornado potential for tomorrow, I'm sure. Unlike what the SPC says, I do understand where they're coming from. However, we are going to have this little bit of clearing here, which I think is going to allow for the heating of the day and allow this moisture transport to head up to the north. So we definitely have to watch that for sure. So we definitely have to keep in mind that a marginal risk is still certainly possible across this area. So basically, any thunderstorm that's and its accompanying updraft that is able to propagate along this boundary and able to stretch that cyclonic spin to the surface into the vertical will develop a deep mesocyclone with the capability of forming landspout tornadoes. So just to reiterate that, we're definitely going to have to watch out for that. Some of the models suggested earlier that an arc of potential supercells we're going to be going to develop here to the east of the triple point here. So we definitely have to watch out for that. This is some of the earlier models, so we'll definitely have to watch out for that, especially take their guidance into consideration into this situation, because this is a very complex setup. And if these thunderstorms or these supercells develop east of the triple point here, and this actually comes into fruition here, the triple point is going to behave like a dry line here. So it's going to allow a more well-mixed atmosphere to be present. So this will allow for the generation of low-top supercells that will arc in a way, so right later on here, basically arc in a way right along the environment and able to push off to the northeast. We're going to have to watch this area for sure. The instability is being constricted into a skinnier nose. However, as these storms eject off to the northeast, they can certainly produce short-lived tornadoes. So I'm surprised that the SPC has removed the marginal risk as well as the 2% tornado threat. I do believe we still have a shot at seeing brief spin-ups along the constrained nose of instability through eastern Iowa and possibly extending into portions of northwestern Illinois as well. This setup is also exhibiting warm air advection as well as moisture advection. So you can see these dew points here in the lower 50s. The low to mid 50s here. So given this time of year, these dew points will provide ample fuel for thunderstorm development for sure. So a strong low-level jet is present, given the pumping of the moisture to the north shown with the nose of moisture here. So there is, at least in my opinion, given this setup, a chance at low-top supercells within the environment tomorrow afternoon across portions of eastern and northeastern Iowa. So right in here. And into extreme portions of northwestern Illinois, and maybe possibly into Wisconsin. Wisconsin does look less favorable, however, the possibilities still definitely exist. We're also going to see or witness more of a popcorn variety storm setup as well. These thunderstorms will be cooler core thunderstorms that will develop within the well-mixed air, which will pass over the occluded boundary where cyclonic spin at the surface exists. And this will aid in the generation of a few brief spin-ups, most likely in the form of landspout tornadoes. So guys, basically, these cold core setups are very complex in terms of forecasting, but they can create big problems here in the high plains. Given the slightly higher elevation here as well, the formation of landspout tornadoes is readily available due to the stretching of existing surface horizontal vorticity out ahead of the frontal zone here, especially given the higher elevations. If this setup does come to fruition, it'll be certainly much easier to stretch existing surface horizontal vorticity up to the cloud base of a thunderstorm, moving into the region, thus generating landspout tornadoes. So let's take a look at the EHI parameters here. So this is the 0 to 1 kilometer EHI, and it does show that we have ample and favorable 0 to 1 kilometer shear within this arc here. This also gives forecasters insight into where the surface-based instability is located. we definitely can, at least from this data, observe that the skinny warm sector is present for sure. You can definitely see how skinny this warm sector is. Definitely, we would like to see a much broader warm sector here, but nevertheless, it's definitely constrained into a skinnier warm sector. So this is definitely an indicator of non-severe tornadoes, especially, or non-supercell tornadoes, especially since hardly any values of EHI exist back behind the low, usually shown in a more traditional setup. And to the east of this triple point, an arc of low-top supercells can certainly form given these conditions. So we're definitely have to watch out for this for sure. These supercells will be capable of producing tornadoes. However, the threat is relatively low. At least for damaging tornadoes, we're definitely going to see some landspouts for sure. Models are suggesting now that a more linear setup may take shape across northeastern Missouri into eastern Iowa as well, eventually moving into west central Illinois. So let's check some of the sounding data here, just to reiterate here. So the low 50s dew points here are definitely sufficient. It would be better to see higher dew points. However, take a look at the hodograph over here, guys. You can see this. It's definitely supportive of landspout tornadoes. The hook shape in the hodograph is definitely allowing for more directional shear and speed shear to be utilized within this setup. These both will contribute to low-level wind shear within the 0 to 1 kilometer layer. So definitely have to watch out for that. We can see the SRH values here at 153. So definitely not out of the realm of producing brief spin-ups here. We can also see the critical angle here is about 47, so just under 50 degrees, which is enough to ingest streamwise vorticity into these storms. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye out on this. We do see a good bit of ventilation aloft. However, it's not as much as we would like in this situation. However, just, guys, just reiterate, this is Iowa doing a cold core type setup, so we'll definitely take what we can get for severe weather for sure. But a plethora of instability is definitely in place. We can see that the surface CAPE is at 896 joules per kilogram at this time and is forecast to go up to just under 1100. So basically, this is in place due to the cold temperatures aloft, aiding to steepen these lapse rates. The surface temperature would have to get slightly warmer, so we're looking at about 56 for the surface temperature. It would definitely have to be a little bit warmer to generate more surface-based instability, which would generate supercells within the arc that we showed earlier. However, given the abundance of low-level CAPE and the low-level stretching of the surface horizontal vorticity, the possibility for non-supercell tornadoes certainly exists. Thus, we definitely have to pay attention for the possibility for non-supercell tornadoes to develop tomorrow. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Let me go back into OBS real quick. Let's turn off the display capture and let's go into Radar Omega. Just to show you guys. I just want to zoom in on some of these, the radar data here. So we can definitely see, this is future radar. So let me get this going here. But just to show you guys, you can definitely see these storms developing. Let me go back into tomorrow morning. So you can definitely see, we definitely have this chance here around 9 a.m. and possibly even tomorrow into tomorrow afternoon as well. But you can definitely see some of these cells definitely gaining strength here for sure. So we definitely have to be on the lookout for that. It is certainly possible that we could get some spin-ups here, especially into the afternoon hours, possibly into around 4 p.m. as well. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on this for sure. But you can definitely see as this moves in, we do have a little bit of rotation here in the system as the low comes in with this triple point. So we definitely have to watch out for that for sure. And let's actually move into Wednesday here. So let me show you the severe weather for Wednesday. So let's turn that off. Let's go to day 4. And let me make sure that this is going to pop up here. Let's see here. Sometimes it wants to pop up, other times it doesn't. Let me get out of the model data here. And let me take this radar out of the way so that way we can display the severe weather data. Let's take the radar off. Hopefully this pops up. We'll see. definitely curious. I'm actually surprised that it's not popping up for some weird reason. But nevertheless, we'll definitely get this to work for sure. Let's see here. Interesting. Yeah, it's definitely very interesting. Definitely see if we can get this to pop up real quick. If not, I can go to the SPC data. It might be the wisest solution at this point. So let's head on over to the SPC. Let's click on day 4. Let's share this information here. So let's take off Radar Mega. We'll put the display capture back on. Apologize for that, guys. So you can basically see, let's zoom in a little bit. So we do have a day 4 severe weather threat taking shape for Wednesday, January 18th. This is definitely eerily similar to the last event, where the greatest parameters will be focused right along the convective line. So we'll definitely have, we'll show some model data for this as well. So the moisture feeder bands will also be advecting from the western Gulf of Mexico as well. Interestingly enough, at this time, at this current time, this may be a one and done type of event, meaning that the stronger parameters will move south into the Gulf of Mexico on Thursday, just leaving Wednesday to be the main event for severe weather. On Wednesday, we'll definitely have to watch the Shreveport up to Monroe for sure, and even through Lufkin down through Alexandria. But definitely to the northern portion of this, we're going to have to watch out. So Shreveport, Monroe, over through Jackson as well. So the global models do underdo instability every once in a while. Thus, we'll have to remember that fact. This may explain the 0 chances for severe weather on Thursday. It would definitely be certainly one to watch here. And let me zoom out a little bit just so I can read this data to you guys. So medium range guidance remains in good agreement that a strong shortwave trough will move eastward from the southwest into the southern plains on day 4, Wednesday, January 18th. The surface low associated with this system will likely be centered over the Texas Panhandle early Wednesday, before moving gradually east-northeastward across south-central Kansas, north-central Oklahoma, and into central Missouri. More prevalent to the severe weather potential will be the secondary triple point low, expected to move from central Texas northeastward across Arkansas to the mid-south. As it does, a dry line Pacific front will surge eastward across central East Texas to the lower Mississippi Valley, interacting with the moist air in place over the region. Environmental conditions support strong to severe thunderstorms along this front as it moves eastward. Warm sector development ahead of this front appears possible as well. Vertical shear within the warm sector supports supercells, although modest thermodynamics caused by warm low to mid-level temperatures result in uncertainty regarding the persistence and coverage of any strong updrafts. All the severe hazard will be possible with any warm sector supercells that mature. Damaging wind gusts appear to be the most likely severe threat with the thunderstorms along the front. Guidance remains consistent that this system will continue northeastward across the mid-Mississippi Valley and Ohio valleys on Thursday. Thunderstorms are possible along or just ahead of the front as it moves across the remainder of the southeast, but displacement south from the parent system in tandem with marginal thermodynamics should limit the overall severe weather potential on Thursday here. So we'll definitely have to look out for that. So we'll keep an eye on this for sure. Let me go back into Radar Mega here, guys, just to show you some of the data. So let's see here. Oops, wrong one. There we go. All right, I'm actually surprised that it's not loading that, but that's interesting. All right, let's go to the model data here. We're probably going to have to use, well, we might be able to get away with the NAM here. We'll see. See if this one's loaded properly. Looks like it has. So let's take a look at this, see how far this goes out. Yes, it does go. All right, we're good. All right, so let's take a look at Wednesday here. You can definitely see that area definitely lighting up here around 4 p.m. So this would definitely be Shreveport over to Monroe along I-20 and I-49 here. So we'll definitely have to watch out for that. This will be extending over towards Monroe, heading up towards Greenville as well. down through Alexandria. Obviously, these models are a little bit more pixelated since these are regional and global models. But as we head towards the end of the period, you can see on Wednesday this system is going to be ejecting off to the east with a slightly weaker system here. So we'll definitely have to watch out for that. It is certainly possible that we could have a severe weather event on Thursday and even into Friday, especially into portions of Tennessee here. So we'll have to watch out for this. We may see some thunderstorms up here through Cincinnati and Columbus and possibly making its way into Pittsburgh. We'll have to check the surface temperatures here. But nevertheless, guys, just wanted to give an update on the severe weather situation. So with that all being said, thank you for joining me in this video. I definitely greatly appreciate it. If you have not subscribed yet, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button to ensure that you do not miss any weather updates. Smash that like button and leave a comment to get this video spread far and wide. And as always, guys, thank you. And always remember, never stop chasing.